So we built a great app using React Native for a cross-platform deployment. React Native is the first JavaScript framework to allow you to create truly native components. And React Native is quick. There is very little loss in performance in most cases when using this framework. And one of the more attractive reasons to use React Native, it's likely to reduce your overhead for development costs if your app is to be deployed on multiple platforms. Here's a preview of what we built. It's a React Native app to view the McDonald's restaurants in Chicago. Setting up the development environment for React Native is really easy. The first step is to install the command line interface. Next, since I will be deploying this app on Android, I will need to install Android Studio. Finally, I installed Xcode so we could deploy this app on iOS platform. One of the fun parts about learning React Native was becoming familiar with JavaScript ECMA6, which is object-oriented JavaScript. So it introduces classes, polymorphism, and all the other great object-oriented paradigms. Once the development environment is set up, I simply run init from the command line, and now I have a React Native project. It's pre-populated with a standard set of React Native files, which include Android and iOS specific JS files. For the first scene, we used a button component, which is cross-platform. The second scene leverages both a list view and an image view. And finally, the third scene uses text views to convey the information specific to the restaurant. Choosing what components to include from the API and also what components we were going to create specifically for this project. Once I've chosen a set of components, it's really easy to import them into my project. I simply use the import statement followed by the set of components that I would like to use. Kind of the last step after we had chosen the components was to decide how we were going to navigate. We used a generic navigator. It's from the API, and it can be used cross-platform. So you can also use navigators. Finally, when ready to build in the iOS simulator, it's really simple. From within the project directory, run React Native run iOS, and it will. Now we're going to look at the screencast for the React Native app running on iOS simulator.